Pretty much the same. Okay, we're live. Yeah, Ireland. Have you ever been to Ireland? No.
No, not really.
No, I wouldn't bother.
England. I've been in Wales.
Yeah,
Cardiff.
it's similar to Wales with less sheep and rain. So less sheep and
Okay.
less rain.
So in Ireland you have better weather than in Wales and England?
I don't know if I'd say better weather. We have yeah, no, it's pretty shit. It's kind of like it's what date is it? 10th of September. And we have the central heating is on in the house, and I'm like wearing a sweatshirt and whatever. So it's not
Okay.
great. Not quite Spain. Whereabouts in Spain are you from?
I mean, I was raised in Barcelona,
Okay.
but now I'm living in the Basque Country, which is like in the north of Spain, and the weather here is kind of shitty. It rains a lot, and I mean it's not cold, but it just rains and it's just cloudy all day. It's the city in Spain that rains the most.
Wow. I wonder
Yeah,
what's the name of the city?
San Sebastian.
Average rainfall. San Sebastian.
It's a pretty nice city, honestly. It's beautiful, but it rains a lot. You can have everything in
Okay.
life.
Ireland's average annual rainfall is 1,230 millimeters.
Uh-huh. And
And
in
San
Spain?
Sebastian's is, why is it done in different fucking metrics? 59 inches. I'm not. Am I bothered? Yeah, maybe I am bothered. 59 inches in
I don't know if it's the
millimeters.
same or not.
Oh, holy shit! You get more rain than us. What the fuck?
Yeah,
I didn't think that was
I told
possible.
you. I told you. Yeah.
Wow. So Ireland's average is 1,200 millimeters per year, and San Sebastian's average is 1,400 millimeters per year. That is crazy.
Yeah, I told you. It's crazy, yeah.
But is it? I guess like like it's probably shitty now, but I'm guessing in summer when it's not raining, it's like hot, nice, sunny. Not as hot as like central
It
or southern
rains.
Spain.
Like the thing is, like it always rains.
Wow. Why did you move there?
It's the train. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't mind the rain. Like in the gym, it never rains. So
that's fair. That's true. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Buenos tardes. That means good evening, is it? Buenos
yeah,
tardes. I'm showing my extreme limits on my Spanish language grasp. You were at the games this year. Congrats. That was
thank you.
your rookie bow. How long after the games did it take you to get rid of your cornrows?
No, the same Monday or Tuesday, I just take them off. Then
Are
I
they
came back to
painful to have
Spain.
in? No, do they hurt your head? Like, do you
I
get a
mean,
headache and stuff?
this one that I had in the games, they made Lucille made it for me. So
Okay,
and they were not tight. But now I just take them off today because I did another with a girl just like she works for it, like she works doing braid and stuff. And I've been with it 2 weeks with the braids, and I just take it off today so I can shave my hair and just clean my hair a little. And then probably on Friday or Saturday I'm having them again so I can be pretty and sexy for the Socal.
you've had many different stylistic versions of yourself
Yeah, a lot.
over the years.
Yeah.
Have you been deliberately growing your hair to get to this stage that you're at now?
Yeah.
Okay,
This was my goal since last year semifinals. Um,
like you look totally
and
different. It's crazy.
yeah. And I look young here.
Yeah,
Fuck.
look at this
CrossFit
guy.
is CrossFit is bad for being young.
I don't know, man. You've aged pretty well. You've got that. I don't know what you call it, like a fine wine aspect or a good scotch.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah, you've aged very well. you're in ridiculous shape at the minute. Like your
Yeah, I've
physique,
always been jacked. Yeah,
like the
I
changes in
always
your
been.
physique is crazy. Like
Yeah, I
that
mean,
to that
the
to now.
2019. I felt the bigger change was I think it was 2022 to 2023.
Yeah.
I just started with a nutritionist, and I was weighing like 91 kilos, something like that. And he just told me that maybe I need to start eating a little bit more. And currently I'm now average like 96, 98 the whole year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just eat a lot for like 6 months. I know I just like have my I don't work with a nutritionist right now, so I just have my own diet. I always eat mostly the same,
Yeah.
and I'm always in the same weight. But yeah,
Was it drastic changes, or was it just, oh, you're under fueling yourself, have some more carbohydrates, or was it a huge difference?
nah, not really. I mean, for example, uh, for breakfast, I usually have like toast and eggs and some stuff, and then when wanted to gain more weight, I just add some yogurt and granola and stuff. And then for dinner, and I mean, my lunch and my dinner have always been like big. I mean, I eat proper meals, but then just like maybe for in the afternoon, I didn't have any snacks, or between training, and didn't have this ethic of eating and fueling and all this stuff. But after, like, when I've moved here, I've always just like being more professional in all these aspects, and this was one of them. So yeah.
And when did you move there?
So yeah, I moved here January 2022. So it's been 2 years and a half.
Wow, okay. And why so were you doing this is with training culture, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm currently doing training culture. Yeah.
And were you kind of just following their generic programming or whatever and then wanted to go all in and move up there? Or how did you end up moving
No,
up?
so I was doing my hometown program with my friends, which was like I was doing like one session uh, for in the morning, and then I was studying and working in the afternoons. Um, and then I think I went to a competition in September 2022. I placed like eighth or seventh. It was Madrid Championship.
Oh yeah.
Um, and then I was just like kind of frustrated because I just fell short in the same type of events that has been always my weakness, and I was a little bit tired. Had some, like, like when you start just like not believing 100% your coach.
Yeah.
Started like looking out a little. I mean, I've met the training culture people a long time ago, and I just talked to them a little, and they just kind of convinced me to move here, and they could offer me a gym to work, a place to train and stuff, and I had a good relationship with them by the time, so I decided to move here. I thought it was the best move that I could have, because also Fabi moved here by the same
Yeah.
time as well, so we had a we had a good group of training here in San Sebastian, or in Zarauz. It's near to San Sebastian, and I just started training here, and yeah, I felt like it was the right decision.
Where did you learn English in school, or have you learned it yourself after school?
Yeah, I think I mean, I've never been that good in English in school, but I started working in summer with in Lloret de Mar, which is like a town in the Costa Brava, and they a lot of just like foreigners came
Yeah.
to drink and those stuff. And I used to work as a bartender by the time. Spent 3 summers there, and my English just like boosted like
Yeah.
crazy. I was always like
You've
my
crazy good English,
my
but even your
yeah.
mannerisms or the like speech ticks that you have are the same as like English people or Irish people. Like you use
Oh yeah.
like a lot and you pause at the same point of sentences. It's interesting.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it's
I
obviously
think
from English people.
I think it's just like in Spanish, it happens to me that well, here in Spain we have different accents, and I just, when I'm talking to one people that have a different accent than mine, I just mimetize with him or her. So
Yeah.
I think it's with English it happens kind of the same.
Yeah. Once you don't start talking with an Irish accent, we'll be okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Um,
I'm also looking like I'm watching now, like rewatching the Peaky Blinders
oh yeah, okay.
series. So I did a rush on the Peaky Blinders. Maybe that's why.
Maybe. Wadzami says Aniol is a 9 out of 10. Would he give up his looks? Oh wow. Would you give your looks down to a 5 out of 10 if we could add 25 kilos to all your lifts? Would you
Nah,
sacrifice your aesthetic? No.
I'm good. That the weights is not the problem right now. I need to improve other things than my weights.
What do you think you need to improve? So after, sorry, hang on. So you finish the games, you're taking out your cornrows, you're having a debrief with
Yeah,
your coach. What's the kind
exactly.
of
Went to Puerto Rico for a week with vacations.
yeah?
And yeah,
What are you saying like after the games? Are you like, wow, that was totally obviously it was fucked up. Like the whole games
yeah,
was totally fucked up. But
yeah.
on a like purely selfishly, were you thinking, oh yeah, I gave the best I could considering, or oh, even though everything was so strange, I should have done better in this, or this? Like how do you decompress from it?
Yeah, so my goal before starting the games was like I saw the past years, the top four, the top five in Europe. It's most likely to podium to place it between 15 and 20. So I just put myself in a 20 position would be a great position for me. And also I have this thing that once I beat one guy in a competition, I don't want him to beat me anymore. So in the semifinal, I was just like, okay, so Lazar beat me, Jelle beat me, and Henrik beat me, and I'm just saying like, I'll try to beat one of those guys, and um, I will, I will try to. I'm not beaten by any of the place right behind me.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, I'm focused on that. Like because I don't know the American athletes as I know the European. I mean, for now, now that I'm probably compete more in America these next years, I'll get along with them, and I just know their marks, know their weakness and their strength. But right now, I was just like, I don't know who this guy is, so I don't know if he's good at this workout or whatever. So yeah, like after the games, I just feel like I have to work a little on my abilities. In general, there were other things that didn't come out, but could me like catch me in the triple unders and the pegboards, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not good at it. I have to work a little bit more. I want to have like a proper technique on all the movements, and it's difficult for me because I'm not. I like to work out, and I'm not this guy that it's always with the technique, obsessed with the technique. I'm just like I like to have pain and go fast and move weights. But since last year, I saw that working on my technique, it's probably the thing that I have to work more on it. So yeah, like the handstand push-up workout was what was bad for me. The swimming workout was also bad. I was thinking that I could have done it better on the swim. But then on the rest, it's just like turning one more year will get me on the point that I think I will be. Like it's just like 1 second, 3 seconds, five
Yeah,
seconds
yeah.
faster, and the outcome is totally different. But like in these games, I didn't saw any performance that I saw like, oh, I'm never gonna beat this guy. I
Yeah.
didn't feel that in the games. I feel like if I train hard and smart this next year, I think like I can do a big improvement. You know. So yeah,
Uh, It's it's interesting because so you have uh say last year semifinals you finished like
yeah,
22nd. This year
yeah,
semifinals you qualify and you go to the games. And it's always interesting to watch what happens someone who has that moment where they kind of go over the edge and they're in and they made it.
hmm
Because
yeah,
there is the part that you need to keep making it. Like to stay
yeah,
relevant, you need to keep qualifying. But then
yeah,
there's also you need to sort of make hay while the sun is shining, and like the career of an athlete only lasts so long. So when opportunities come up, it's difficult to say no to opportunities. But then the more opportunities you say yes to, the more potentially damaging that is to your chances of staying relevant and making it again. As in, if you are invited to do every competition under the sun in the calendar year, and you say, "Oh yeah, 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 I'll do everything," and then you're suffering because you're traveling or you're missing training or whatever, and then you
Hmm.
don't make the games, then you're not getting invited to any of that shit the next year. Like, you're back to where you
Yeah.
started. So it's funny watching. So you qualify for the games, and now you're going to Tier Socal. You're going to do the Tier Cup at Wadapalooza.
Yeah.
You're going to Down Under, and you're going
Yep.
to do a team with Ricky. We'll talk about him more later on. But like, those are two big opportunities. To get your face out there, to earn, to fulfill sponsor obligations, all those different things, like get more opportunities, whatever, and to compete. And like, SoCal has a shit ton of money
Yep.
up for grabs in that Tier Cup. Um, but is that something that you're conscious of, that you need to balance the opportunities and saying yes to things with also like, well, it's also my career, and I need to, the ultimate goal is still the ultimate goal. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah. So my plan after last year and semifinals, I just took like a proper month outside of training because it was not the outcome that I wanted to have, and I needed like a big reset. But then after I did the reset, I mean, I was really in shape, and I was just not able to perform on the big day, like. And after I started turning back to in August, something like that, and I just had a lot of competitions, like off-season competitions. I went to the Madrid Championship. Like, I barely have like one competition every month, for the off-season until Wodapalooza. And then right after Wodapalooza, my man is only on the season by itself. And this year, I'm traveling a little bit more because the off-seasons comps that I have last year were more in Spain. But like, I had this opportunity to be in Socal, to compete, and also to learn with the athletes that I will take team on. So I think this is a good opportunity to me. I felt like the opportunity that the Wodapalooza or the organizers are bringing to me, it's like they are betting on me. So I have to. I'm really conscious of what I'm doing there. Like, I'm probably the less known guy in the sport of all of the eight athletes that we have. So my goal over there is just like to keep everybody like the eyes on me, and I feel pretty confident. I mean, I was planning to have like a little bit more vacation until the 15th of September, and then back to training. But as soon as I got the invite, I came back here to San Sebastian and trained. I've been training for 2 weeks now, in a pretty decent level. I did some raw qualifiers to test myself, and I smashed the guy. So yeah, I'm feeling good. And I'm also going to Australia with and moving there. Like, I'm gonna be there like 2 weeks earlier, so I can
Okay.
train with Ricky properly. And then after that, my plan is just train the whole November, December, and then going individual in Wodapalooza, and I can be
Cool.
like proper contender for there. And after that, I will just like again reset a little, and then back to the season.
So three is kind of the magic number then. Three competitions. Like, any more than
Yeah,
that,
three. Last year I had five, and this
well,
year I have like last year I had one in teams, which was the Madrid was
oh yeah.
in September. Then I had in November one in individual. I got injured there, and then 1 month later I got the Dubai, and then after I had the Udapalooza, so four, and then I had the Pixel one also in February.
Oh, the Pamplona thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And this year is gonna be barely the same. I'm going probably do I'm doing the Socal, the Down Under, and then I don't know if I'm doing the qualifiers for Dubai because so it doesn't fit me. Like, I'm gonna be traveling a lot by those days. so I don't think I'll be able to do the qualifiers. And then
You could just prolong your stay in Australia and then fly back
yeah,
via Dubai. I mean, they might get an
nah,
invite as well. You have to think of that too.
I don't think so. I don't
No?
think they'll invite anyone. No, the first year that I got in 2022, they did 20 classification spots, and that was it. So I don't think. I think they do.
I think last year I think they invited, but it was like really
No,
unusual people.
last year everyone got an invite, but uh, the 2022 it was everything by
Okay.
classification. So I think they do
Okay.
like 1 year qualification and 1 year just invite.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Where
And
did you didn't enter your scores in the Rogue?
no, I just did one.
Oh, what one
The
did you
Rogue,
do?
the first one, the dumbbell snatch with the eco bike.
What time did you get?
I did 12:25, 12:24. Yeah, I smashed all the
Jesus.
guys over there.
Fucking
Yeah,
hell, you really smashed them. I thought you were just kind of
yeah.
saying that, but
No. I
geez, you
mean
really destroyed them.
that workout. I mean the dumbbell snatch with 32 kilos is like the heavier the dumbbell, the better. And the eco bike, like these two movements are individually like they are good for me, but when they are mixed, I feel like I can push on the eco bike because then on the dumbbell snatch I'm using like other muscles. So
What
yeah,
time
I
did you
won't
say you
allow
got 12? What?
12:25.
So that's a full 2 minutes, 20 seconds faster than the best time.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. So
crazy.
yeah, yeah. I
That's
spoke
good.
with some guys that they did the workout, and I was just like, yeah, it was
Oh,
just
imagine
like.
those guys. They're putting their scores in and they're like, oh, I'm just going to text Aniol and see how he got on. And then you reply 12:25. They're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I spoke with the guys, and I also think like with because last year I got fucked doing the qualifiers. I was in fourth place, and they was just like, well, it was crazy. There was this workout that was legless, devil press, and lunge with the dumbbells. Uh, and then
Oh, you stopped. Or, yeah, I remember that. It
no,
was
I
like
didn't. I didn't stop.
your
So
last lunge
on
or something, wasn't it?
my last lunge, I didn't extend myself, which
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
30 no rep. And then, so the other 20 double press and the 3 legless that were left, they just said me that, yeah, this workout is invalid because like your workout stops
Yeah.
at the moment you just don't do the lunge.
Last rep or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got, it was a 12-minute time cap and I did like 10 minutes, 20 seconds, which was, I think it was like a fourth place or fifth place. And then, I just got fucked by that one. I just tried to appeal, but they just kicked me out because they just wanted to. So I think for this year, like if I'm doing the workouts, probably my dumbbell snatch are way like like I just did the workout because I wanted to. I was not looking for a
Yeah.
perfect execution on the lockout. So maybe that's also a point. But yeah, I mean, for the row qualifiers, it's probably more worth to go 30 seconds slower and be careful
Yeah.
with all the things that they say and wait all the stuff because they just don't care about anything. So they
Yeah.
see
Like
a
you're better
small
off
thing.
finishing 10th in every workout, but getting zero penalties
Yeah,
versus,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
if
I
you're an
guess
European, it's also difficult for you. It's way difficult for you.
say that again.
Being a European for them, it's just say like they don't see both ways the same way,
Oh, so
like
if
Americans and Europeans.
so you think if you were Dallin
Yeah,
Pepper and hadn't stood up your last
yeah,
lunge. Wow,
yeah.
okay. Is that just your
That's my guess. I mean, last
yeah.
year, I think the top five uh, was like it was. I think we had like Ricky, and then three Europeans, and then Travis Mayer, and then another European. So we had the top six because they qualified 6 people before the video review. They had one Australian, one American, and 4 Europeans. And after the video review, we had one European, one Australian, and 4 American.
Yeah, maybe the Americans have
I
just been
mean,
doing it longer and have,
maybe they just do the reps better than us. Maybe it's that. Yeah.
I mean, for everything I've heard about Rogue is that they're incredibly fair. Like to a fault, they're fair. As in,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. I'm not saying
yeah,
it's just like to have a little of discussion. But yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I feel
yeah.
like it wasn't a clearly no rep, but I don't think it's the proper way to handle a no rep on a workout of 12 minutes. You just well, I mean, it's their call. It's how they operate, and I just hope that they operate the same way with everyone.
Do you? So I think they said this year, didn't they? A minimum of five, but they didn't actually say a number. They just said like
Yeah.
five, a minimum of five people qualifying. So at the minute, like
Yeah.
Georgios is in first and Reggie is in sixth, and then everyone between them is American. So the truth could come out here if that leaderboard doesn't move at all. Maybe you have a point.
Yeah.
If like some of
Maybe.
those Americans
Yeah.
drop down, maybe your point is invalid.
Or
Yeah,
maybe all the Europeans just disappear and only Americans go there. Can you imagine that?
yeah. You got like Tanner Balaz in 20th moving up into sixth. Um, Yeah, it's interesting. And then, like, how did you decide? So you were in addition to Tears Socal after the games. So obviously Lazar was
Yeah.
supposed to do it, and then Ricky was supposed to do it, and he hurt his
Yeah.
ankle at the games, and then Roman was supposed to do
Yeah.
it, and then he was injured. Um, so you said that you were planning on kind of having a holiday, and then obviously the phone rings, and you think, "Oh, hang on, this could be good."
Yeah. Yeah. I was with my mom's in Barcelona, staying at her place.
Yeah,
And I just spoke with Lucille, and she said that, hey, maybe you just have to go to California. And I say, okay, just confirm it as fast as you can because I have to train.
yeah.
I'm doing classes and I'm not in shape. I have 2 weeks to get in shape in best case scenario. So yeah, as soon as I got the invite, the next day I was coming here to my home here to train. So yeah, I mean,
Um,
I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be. It looks like it's going to be great. It's interesting as well because the format is what's going to drive it. Like if you have, there could be something on paper that you look at and think, I don't know if I fancy that one. Whereas if there's one with like echo bike and dumbbell snatches, you'd be like, yeah, I'll go for
Yeah,
that. I volunteer as tribute.
I mean, we had this eco bike burpees and run, uh, 50, 50, 50, and it's just like one guy versus one guy. I don't. I think it's gonna be me or Brent by the one. And I don't know who. I did a tryout the other day, and just like less reps and less reps and less rest than we'll have there. But honestly, in the eco bike, beating I think Dalin's the best
Yeah,
athlete that they have in that workout. I don't think. I think maybe the burp, like it's obviously the eco bike workout because you have to smash the bike, but the burpees is probably the tough part because it's the longer thing that you're gonna do. Like eco bike, it's gonna be 1 minute. The run is gonna be 1 minute and a half, and the burpees 2 minutes. Um, Close, maybe a little bit less, but I think it's the hardest. The eco
yeah.
bike, the burpees.
Yeah, the burpees is where you lose all your ground. Like whatever, like it's
Yeah,
going to be a matter of seconds on the echo bike and on the run. But then if you,
yeah,
get
I
a
think
no
so.
rep on a
Yeah,
burpee or slow down or pause at the bottom or whatever. Um, it's interesting as well because at FitFest last year in Birmingham, like Brent was there and Pat was there and they were both team captains or whatever. But you mentioned earlier on that like, oh, you might learn some stuff. Like that was one thing that I really noticed was how much everybody was telling everybody, well, here's what I do if I was
yeah,
doing that, or here's, how I try to think about this kind of thing. And that kind of stuff is invaluable too.
yeah. We had a Instagram group chat, and we just like Brent talks a lot, and he just give us a lot of tips and ways to handle the future workouts and strategies and stuff. So yeah, I rely a lot on him. He's one of the guys in the sport, and like he has a lot of interpretation of the workouts capacity. I think like he's probably one of the best on that specific thing. So yeah.
Yeah. Um, Ricky, then, so you before the games, you went over to Vegas and you spent like about a month in Vegas. Is that right? You spent a good time there.
Yeah, 3 weeks. Yeah,
Okay.
two
How did
weeks and
that
a
come
half.
about? Were you friends with him before?
Yeah, like uh, I've met Ricky in Dubai last year, like 2023, and we
Yeah.
just talked a bit, and he was nice. We are both uh, our managers is the Backland management,
Oh yeah.
Snorri and Lucille. And my idea after I qualified for the games, I always wanted to just like to have the experience of being in training in the States, with a proper camp, and to see like I can join any camp that they will uh, be happy to have me. Yeah, so I spoke with Justin, spoke with Alex and with Ricky, and they just, yeah, come over. And honestly, it was the best decision that I could have because, I mean, I made a lot of friends there. They were really nice to me and my girlfriend. So we both have a great time. I feel like I saw Ricky training, and being one of like training every day with one of the best, if not the best in the sport. You just see that he's human. Obviously, I mean, in the 2 weeks that we spent there, I just beat him in one workout. You know, I was just like, fuck, I'm not beating this guy at anything. But yeah, like it's humbling, but it's also like I enjoyed a lot of time, and I think we all enjoyed. And Ricky, I consider him a good friend of mine. So yeah,
Yeah, he's a really cool guy. Really cool, incredibly laid back, which you seem to be too.
yeah,
I'm just like very like almost or almost horizontal, just like very, very laid back. One thing I noticed about him, and you actually seem quite similar, is that the energy required to do things all seems to be stored up for the competition floor or for training or whatever, like to the point where you and him both don't really even move your mouth when you're speaking. It's like I'm not
yeah,
like you're not even gonna waste the
yeah,
energy required to move your jaw to talk. It's just like I'll just move my mouth and it's fine. And he's the same too. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
really stood out. Like because I kind of spent a bit of time with him at the games, and he's just like, oh yeah, just keep moving. That's just like his mouth doesn't
Yeah,
even
that's
change.
it. Yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah.
the first days in Vegas, I was what, Ricky? What? Like this guy? Like we had a lot of fun, and we did like monkey stuff. Like we had a lot of fun, and yeah, yeah. But we like the day over there was just like waking up, go train, and then have some snacks. We spent like most of the day in Alex's place playing cards, and then just in the gym. So yeah, like it was a perfect environment.
Did anything surprise you about it? Like, was there anything drastically different than what you had been doing? Like, were they training way more? Were they training way less? Was it just different?
I feel like they just train different. Think my training camp here, they have a specific way of how train works, how CrossFit works, and we had not a weird program, but not like a usual workout and like a usual program. And when I spent the time with them, they did longer workouts than we used to do. Like all the workouts were like 15 to 40 minutes with like intervals and stuff, and they did the strength in a different way, and they also had these conditioning workouts programmed by Chris Show, and I just learned a lot of stuff and wanted to just to join their mentality or how they work so I can improve also. So yeah.
Um, would you ever consider changing training camp? Or are you happy where you are?
Yeah, I'm happy right now here in San Sebastian. Yeah,
Your coaches must be pretty, because Callum was the same. Remember Callum saying that he was going to train somewhere else. I can't fucking remember where he said he was going to train. He said that you were coming down to him. I know that, and then he said he was going somewhere
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Um,
He lives in Valencia, which
yeah,
is in the east, like southeast
yeah.
in Spain. So
But
yeah,
it was a
I
similar thing though, that he was going to train with someone else for a while, and I remember thinking like, oh, would your coach not be pissed off? The same with you going over there, like, would your coach not be like, if you say, oh, I'm going to go over to Vegas and train for 2 weeks with underdogs, maybe I'm just pathetic, but if I was a coach, I'd be thinking, wait, why do you not want to stay
yeah,
here? Like, bring me with
yeah.
you, or I should be involved.
I see your point, but I mean, I had really clear vision that that was the thing that I was going to do no matter what. I think like they didn't like it, but I thought that that was the best move for me, and I just did it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the best coaches, or the coaches like every coach says they really give a shit about their athletes, but I guess the ones, it becomes clear who really does when they say, yeah, if this is what you need to do, go and do it. Like, if you
Yeah, I
think this is
think
going to
like
help you.
to have someone in a cage, like you can go there, you can be
Yeah.
there, or you can't. It it doesn't work like that. Not only in coaching, but in everything. Like in relationship and with friends or whatever. You just as the most or the more open minded that you are with this kind of stuff. Like if you feel like this guy is loyal to you and he values or he's happy with your program or with whatever, he's not gonna leave. Like
Mm.
you don't have nothing to be scared of. Like if everything's fine, no one has to be worried or
Yeah.
scared of leaving or whatever.
It's quite similar to a relationship, really. I'm just going out with the boys. It's like, wait, why, where? Versus,
Yeah,
yeah, go and have a good
yeah,
time. See you tomorrow. Um,
exactly.
so at the games, then obviously it was a mess. From after event one.
Hmm.
What was your take on that? Like, when that was happening, were you thinking, all right, I'm definitely going to continue if it continues, or was there part of you that was thinking maybe I should stop, like maybe it should
Yeah.
stop? Like, how are you feeling about it?
So when we had the like we just after the swimming we just left fast to the hotel so we can have a shower and cool down the body. And then we arrived to the hotel, had a shower and all the stuff, and we just started looking at everything that happened and that they were not finding Lasa's body and all the stuff. And then it was honestly was like it was a shock. Honestly, I don't feel like I still have the thing like inside myself like he just died, and I don't feel like I just realized it at some
Mm,
point because like I've been in all my competitions. Lasers been there, and we had. I mean, I was closer to Luca, but we just talked a lot of shit. Like in between inside the competition, he was a pain in the ass. Like, but then outside the competition, we just cared for each other and had a good relationship. And it was a clear shock. But then, like when we were having these meetings with CrossFit with the athletes, my idea was like I spent a lot of money being there. Like all my family came here, and I just wanted to bring them the opportunity to be in the stadium and cheering for me and to see. I also wanted to see to see myself inside the venue and the arena because I don't know if I'm ever gonna be there again. Like you never know, right? And I just talked with the guys, and honestly, it was weird because so we had this meeting, and then we just like I felt like out of 40 athletes or 35 athletes we had there, like 25 athletes were like, yeah, so we can continue with the competition. The prize purse, it's split with everyone, and we just do the workouts and try to honor Lazar and doing the workout, and that's it. And uh, I just agree with that. I felt like it was the majority of the votes, and then I also said that I don't felt like this was our call. Like CrossFit had to take the cards on that. Like nah, I didn't want to. Hey guys, we just talked with the athletes, and this is what we are going to do. It's like a shared vision of what are we going to do. I feel like they are the organization and they have to make the call that they think they have to do, like no matter what. And then if the athletes don't want to compete, it's your problem. But they think they did in that way that it felt like we had this shared vision of how to proceed the competition. But yeah, I just left the venue, and then at night, like I just had a bowl, as I bowl, and I was just in the outside waiting for some news, and then I just saw Guy arriving, and he was just like so sad, so like he was fucked, like he was so tired, and I just, hey, how did it go? Like, what are we doing tomorrow? And he just said like we're gonna compete, and I was like, what? Like we compete, like we are on the floor, but the prize purse and all we just talked, and he just no, like they said like we're gonna compete and that's it. And I was like, okay. I was and then I had a little of then I had some problems like speaking with myself, what is the right call to do, and then I just decided. At first sight, I thought just like, okay, so maybe I can do like a minute of silence like on the first workout. But then I just thought this is nonsense because then you're gonna compete, you're gonna give your 100% effort, and then if you do like 18 minutes and all the other athletes do like 17:30, 17:20, 17:15, you're gonna be mad. That
Yeah.
it's so I just thought I'm just gonna compete and give it all in all the workouts, and that was it was tough to be like focused, but it was another test. Not the best test that we like a mental test, to be focused and to be in the competition. So yeah, I just tried to do the best thing that I could in the arena.
So you were under the impression when you left your the temperature of the room that you took when you were leaving and it broke down into the smaller groups or whatever was okay, we're going to compete, but it'll be an exhibition, not a competition, and the money's going to be split evenly among everyone. That's kind of what that's what the majority seemed to be saying. And then you left, and
Yeah, I
Guy
felt
was
it.
obviously involved in the other meeting, and he came back and was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
it's just normal."
yeah. So I just felt I I, I just felt I spoke with Callum and we both had the same vision of it. Like we want to be in the arena. We don't have. I don't feel this has to be a celebration of fitness this weekend. So we can work out with the community. We can do whatever. We have this opportunity to do something different. Uh, and yeah, I just leave. Like they said, it's gonna be like a 5 athlete meeting for each division, and then we left, and then uh, it happens to be like a big meeting. There were not only 5 athletes of each division; there were more. Uh, and I was just like shocked, like because I felt like 100% this is what we're gonna do, but then it was not. So yeah, sleep and compete.
It's interesting. I mean, I can see why people would want it that way. Um, and then I can also see the potential criticism of people who would want it that way. I mean, you've said earlier that when you were heading into the games, your aim would have been like somewhere between 15 and 20. And when you look at
Yeah,
the takeaway, like the prize for finishing in that position versus the prize for finishing in like second, there's a big gap there. So I can certainly see
yeah,
why other athletes might say like, well, hang on a minute. Maybe we don't split it evenly, or how people might
yeah,
judge someone like you for saying, "Oh, we should split it evenly." That as an outsider looking in would say, "Well, of course he wants to split it evenly." Do you know what I mean?
yeah. But like I felt like the amount that we were having for splitting the price first was like 20 grand for each, 15 to 20 grand, which was more than anyone spent on the competition, all the stuff, you know?
Yeah,
Because I've been there. I've I went there 1 month earlier, spent there paying an Airbnb for myself, for me and my girlfriend, all the food, all the travel expenses, a car, gas, and other stuff, and it was 10 or 8K, And I've been there 1 month, not 1 week, and all the like, um, you know, I don't. I feel like I understand their point, and obviously, it's a job, and that's what we gotta do. We have to prove our fitness to get the more money that we can. But my honestly vision of the things, I don't feel like that was the right decision to do. But I mean, you saw me like once we decided,
yeah.
I was not getting myself. Yeah, you don't have to do this. No, I mean. I just switched it on and I just did my best.
What were you like the week after then, like Tuesday, Wednesday? That like, did you have because like I've often heard about this kind of emotional dump after the games, just at regular games. Whereas if you've had to sort of bottle everything up on Friday early morning, get going on the competition after thinking it was over or whatever, and then you kick on, surely then Sunday evening or Monday morning you wake up and just feel like shit then.
Yeah, I mean, we after finishing the games the same night, we just went back. Like we fly to Puerto Rico and spend there a week. And the first 2 days, there was like a storm in Puerto Rico, and we just spent the whole 2 days barely in the room and having like chill walks, and I just talk with my girlfriend about how the competition, and I also try to manage my emotions pretty well. I feel like that way the most um, in all the scenarios that I can, and I just regulate myself and I just accept it. That was the thing that happened, and nothing that I can do to regret myself. Like death is all around us, and if you think that death is not around you, it's your problem, and you just have to accept that people dies, and it's a shit. Like no one wants anyone to die, and if it's your father or your friend, it's even worse. But it is what it is, Like, and you have to carry on. And it sucks, but this is life.
Yeah. Um, does it make it harder? Like, obviously, there's been a lot of noise the last maybe since the games, basically about there's people saying, "Oh, that's the last games we'll have." There's people saying the games will never look the same again. There's people saying Dave needs to
Yeah.
go. There's people saying the season needs to change, or a rival league could be set up, or whatever. Does it make it hard for you to kind of train with, say, next July or August in your mind, or whatever, or do you just work under the assumption that, well, we'll presume the games is going ahead. We'll presume it's going to look similar to it has in the last few years, and I'll just aim for that.
Yeah, I mean, I heard all these things that came up after the games. I didn't pay so much attention because I try to be focused on what I'm doing every day, if it's training or having time with friends or whatever. I don't like the noise outside. The things that I'm currently at, like if I'm here, I'm just taking care of training or my friends or whatever, and I just don't try to listen all the noise because I don't think it's I mean, I'm gonna help as anything as I can to evolve the sport and improve the sport of CrossFit on the next years, if I can, and if I have the voice of it. But there's time for that, and I don't think now it's the time. It's too early. I don't think right now it's my call. I'm not the one making decisions, and if I am at some point the one making decisions, maybe I'll have to be worried. But right now, I just have to be focused on my training, and then if I have to give my opinion, if they ask me for my opinion, I will give my opinion for the future of the sport. But right now, I have to be focused on what I have to be.
Um, what age are you?
I'm 27.
Oh. Ernie's asking, would you ever consider coaching? This is the same Ernie who earlier on said, damn,
Buenas tardes, ¿no?
65 kilos. I'm a warm-up bar for him. This guy considers himself a warm-up bar for you, and he's wondering, are you considering coaching?
Yeah, I mean, I did my degree in psychology, and I have a bachelor degree in Gestalt coaching, like in psychology. And I felt like at some point I will work as a as a psychologist, honestly. But like these next days, we were in Puerto Rico, and I tried to disconnect of CrossFit and the workouts and all the stuff, and I just kept myself at the time thinking on CrossFit, and I just told my girlfriend, like, Elena, I'm just obsessed, like I'm just thinking all the time in workouts on how to improve things, how to take the next step and all the stuff. And when I retired, I would like to be a coach, but a proper coach, like being all day with my athletes. I feel like maybe it's uh, here in Europe or in Spain, but like CrossFit, it's a sport, but in all the sports that we have here in Spain, all the time you're training, you have a coach. And CrossFit is the only sport that you're training and you don't have a coach. And
Yeah.
I don't like that. Honestly, I don't like that. And if I have to work as a coach at any point, I will be 100% with my athlete. I will take care of anything that he needs. I will involve myself 100% as I'm doing as an athlete, because I feel like this gives you like this extra confident, extra loyalty, extra push that you need at some point. Like I heard this podcast. I don't think it was you. Yeah, it was you. You did the podcast with Matt Torres, brute
Oh,
strength
yeah.
coach, and he just said that like he's been working with Darren since he was like 15 years old. And they've been training together uh, in Tampa or Florida. I don't know where is it. Uh, and I think that's the proper way to be a coach and to be an athlete. Like that's the thing that the best thing that can work for an athlete, for a coach, and for the future of the sport. Because I think this is the only sport that you don't have a proper, like, you can have a proper coach, but not in this way.
Yeah, it's interesting because even you think of, like, say, Annie in Iceland, and Yami like
Yeah,
relocated himself to Iceland basically, and BK as
yeah,
well. And you look at the improvements that Khan made when he moved over to Iceland and stayed there and trained under Yami. It's the minutia, like the small little things that a coach could see. And I guess
yeah,
like Ricky's probably maybe an exception to that because he has Benny there with him all the time. And then when he goes to America, he has
yeah.
Justin eyes on. But like Benny and
Hmm.
Justin just seem really similar, like the way that they do things and the things they notice and stuff. So I guess he's lucky in that respect. But yeah, there definitely is. And I think that's why so many of those training camps like popped up over the last, 18 to 36 months or whatever. There was all these like, we're going to bring everyone together and blah, blah, blah. And then by and large, they just haven't worked. Like you look at a lot of the
Yeah,
training camps
because
it just hasn't
that's
reached the potential that it could have.
it's difficult. it's difficult to have a proper camp because one thing is to be a coach, but then all the athletes you can you are an athlete, but you're also a human being, and you have to behave yourself with all the other athletes.
Yeah.
For example, like here in Spain, when we all moved here, like it was by that time it was Fabi. He was by far the best athlete in Spain, and there was Danny that he's been third, fourth, fifth, also the best athlete in Spain for a long time, and we just moved here in Spain, and we had at some point we had Fabi, which was the best athlete from 2020 to 2023. It was Alex Anasagasti that was the best athlete in 2018, 2019. It was Danny that has been the second or the third uh, for a long time, and it was me that was the new guy upcoming, and we had um, we are all friends and we had a really good relationship, but a lot of people were saying like, oh, maybe how is this gonna work, or maybe like too much. In Spain we have say that demasiadas gallinas, o sea, demasiados gallos en un gallinero, no? Like too many cocks in one room, no? And I just think like you have to learn to compete all day, but not compete as you're gonna die every day because then you get roasted. I think that's the main problem with a lot of the athletes that are too competitive. And they just I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but
Yeah.
for training, you can go all out all the time
You
because
need,
it's not
you need a
maintainable.
certain level of intelligence, I guess, or your coach does, to
Yeah,
say, "Hey, now's not the time," or like, "It doesn't fucking matter that I
yeah,
lost that," or I didn't. I
exactly.
actually, interestingly, I saw there's a guy in Australia, Luke De Jong, and he's
Yeah,
really like, he's a funny guy, but he's a good
hmm,
athlete as well. A few years ago, he's at Torian a few years ago, and he had a big afro, and he did these celebrations after each event that he did, and like I just loved him from the minute I saw that.
hmm,
But I just showed, because this is actually quite relevant to what you're actually talking about. And I just thought of it there as you were saying it. He's a cool guy. He's worth a follow. But he just said, slightly controversial, but I don't think you should always compete to the best of your ability. This conversation comes up often in your training crew. You believe you can genuinely compete so much each year. When I say genuinely compete, I mean being invested in every single training session that lead up to, and deeply caring about your performance and the results. If you approach every competition like it's your last, that's a fast way to burn out and hate competing. And then he goes on with some
yeah,
example or some advice, and then his example is that Fraser used to do workouts, so he'd train, do an open announcement, and then just train again afterwards. Like he
yeah.
wasn't all about that. But it's just interesting to hear that you're kind of like echoing that, but I suppose in regards to your training more so than competing. But yeah, it's just there. I guess there's a certain shelf life that people have as an athlete, and you're just making it shorter if you just spin the wheels constantly.
Yeah, like I used to be like this. My first year here in Spain, I was like pushing myself to the limit, and but then there were at some point I didn't have conscious on how to breathe, how to do this movement, what pace hold in this kind of
Yeah,
workout, what is like, and then I just starting focusing on that. And then I just felt like I improved more in 1 month just focusing on these little things than 1 year just grinding every day. Like it's not like for me uh the only day that you have to go all out it's when it's game day.
yeah,
Like you don't have to be like at some point like yeah like short workouts and stuff, yeah, but you don't have to be blurry vision all day workout, because it's not maintainable, and also you don't learn nothing from pushing. Yeah, okay, I just died. Yeah, congratulations, but what did you learn? Like how are you moving, how are you uh breathing, how did you manage the reps, and could you hold unbroken? How many rests between movements or whatever? Like you have to think about this all the time because then you get to know yourself. And for me,
yeah,
it's really important. Like for example, when we had this the last two workouts on the games, uh, I knew that I did the strategy both of both workouts, and I just executed. I knew what kind of fatigue will I have right after the first workout, and then I knew that I could push a little on the thrusters on the first to 18 reps, and I just got a little of advantage over there, and then I just managed the advantage with all the rest of the athletes on my hit, and probably if you go all out and you don't have control of what you have to do in that kind of workout, you just maybe you go way too fast on the first and then you're fucked, or you go too slow on the first and then you can't recover properly. Like it's also like a thing that you have to work on. It's really important.
It's interesting. You definitely seem to have the mental capacity for coaching anyway. Okay, so people will see you next week in Huntington Beach,
Next week, yeah,
representing the rest of the world and
Team
Brent.
World, yeah.
And after that, then November is down under. Is it the start of November?
It's no, it's October. It's
October. Okay.
18 of October or 20.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you'll more or less be going from California to Australia, more or less. Like it'd be pretty quick turnover.
yeah. I was planning on that, but after California, I have to come here, and I have a trip with my family-in-law to
Okay.
Tenerife for just like 5 days, and then
Yeah.
like I arrived here in Spain, spend 2 or 3 days Tenerife, and then just back to Barcelona and back, and then straight to Australia.
Is there a direct flight to Australia? You have to stop somewhere, do you? Like Dubai or
No,
Singapore or
you have to
somewhere?
stop. I'm doing Barcelona, Hong Kong, and then
Okay.
Hong Kong, Australia.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I saw a few, like I saw one that was like London straight to Sydney. Like they just stop at some point to just refuel.
Yeah.
But then I didn't book that one, and then I just had to find another one.
Where is Ricky? He's near Sydney. It's like Wollongong or somewhere, is it?
Yeah, Wollongong. The competition is
Okay.
in Wollongong.
Okay.
So I just when I get to Sydney, I I hope they pick me up in the airport, and
Yeah.
then
Check
I'm
that.
just
I
gonna
check.
yeah, I'll send him a message, and
Just a
then I'm just gonna
reminder.
yeah, and then I'm gonna stay at the place for a week or two of training,
Cool.
and yeah.
That's cool, man. Okay, so Huntington Beach next. That'd be great. I'll be there. I'll see you there. That'd be fun.
You'll be
Um,
there.
yeah.
Oh, that's
I'll be
cool.
there. I have a similar like October. I go to Socal and then I come back. And then like 4 days later I go to Marbella. You know the Marbella CrossFit
Okay.
Championships are on there.
Yeah.
So I go there and then I come back. So I land back from Marbella on Wednesday and I fly to Crash on Thursday. So I come home from the airport, sleep, and
You're
go
going
straight
to
back.
the States again?
Yeah, for Crash. Yeah, that'd be good. Cool. Well, we can compare travel miles at the end of the year, maybe. Listen, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. I know it's late over there, and I really appreciate you giving up your time. It's been great to get to talk to you. I'd love to catch up again more, and we'll talk to you in Huntington Beach next week. That'd be great.
Yeah. See you in a couple of days. Yeah, thank you
Yeah,
for having me. It was a great chat. Yeah, hope to see you in a few days.
yeah. I've never felt uglier on a podcast. I've never felt like I look worse.